Good morning, everyone. It's Tim, and I'm going to do another video for you this morning. And I'm going to focus on the eyes for a little while, on all the different things that you can see, and that way it'll kind of help you all differentiate between which issue when you're looking at the eyes. This morning I'm going to talk about calcium phosphate. I'm going to show you the difference. Yesterday I talked about the eye of the adrenal storm. Today it's calcium phosphate, and although if you look, you notice that the eyelids are brown, or actually they're kind of a grayish, brownish, blackish. Um, Yesterday, this was the same thing, but it extended all the way up the eyebrows almost, and below it as well. You're not seeing that here. It's the eyelids only, and it's a brownish, grayish color. That is calcium phosphate. If it were red, it would be potassium iodine, but this is calcium phosphate. Calcium phosphate is a very important mineral, and it has very profound symptoms of deficiency. Some you're going to find rather interesting. I'm going to just talk about it briefly. I'm going to try to make this as short as possible, because I'm not going to get into everything, of course. Um, Anemia, poor circulation. Uh, Pregnant women with morning sickness are generally, the cause of it is a deficiency of calcium phosphate. A big one, milk allergies. Milk allergies are directly correlated to a calcium phosphate deficiency. It takes some time of taking calcium phosphate. It can take months to reintroduce milk, but for all of you who know how to muscle test, if you have a child or a loved one with a milk allergy, give them calcium phosphate, keep muscle testing for milk over time, and it will eventually, the milk allergy will go away. I see it every time. Estrogen and progesterone. Calcium phosphate balances your estrogen progesterone uh, balance. It works specifically on the ovaries as well. It's utilized by the ovaries, and it will help balance your estrogen progesterone. So it's used whether there's a lack of estrogen or a dominance of estrogen. The same with progesterone, lack or dominance. Estrogen or calcium phosphate will come into play, but the big thing with calcium phosphate is the behavioral issues. I shouldn't say the big thing, because those are pretty big things as well. But I work a lot with behavioral issues. This is one that comes into play so much. I'll run through a few indications or symptoms that will arise from a deficiency of calcium phosphate, and some of them are very profound and really needs to be watched out for. And if you know somebody with with behavioral issues, look for this sign of the dark eyelids not extending up or below, brownish gray in color, because, and I've done a video on this previously, this is present. And I've shown this in video. There's a couple of videos on there where I show people who committed suicide. Every one of them has the calcium phosphate deficiency, no exceptions, all of them. Now that doesn't mean that because somebody has a calcium phosphate deficiency, that they're going to kill themselves. We're all unique individuals, and how our bodies respond to a deficiency are going to be different. But that is something to definitely look out for. Along with zinc is another one. But anyway, I won't get off the subject here. People with a calcium phosphate deficiency would be prone to addiction. So whether it be gambling, smoking, drinking, drugs, they would literally be prone. They'd be more susceptible to become addicted to things. They're always stressed. It's an individual who's always stressed out. As much as this lady looks all nice, calm, cool, and collected, I really doubt she is. And I can actually see the inflammation on the screen. But anyway, I won't get into any of that. They lack initiative. They'll have low self-esteem. Anxiety can and will be provoked by a calcium phosphate deficiency. They'll be shy. I think that pretty much covers it. Lots and lots of behavioral issues are associated with calcium phosphate, more so than any mineral out there. And that's why I kind of wanted to talk about it. I wanted to show you show you guys the difference between the calcium phosphate and adrenal fatigue, because the coloring is not that much different. Now, yesterday's was exaggerated. Today, this is a realistic expectation of what you would see in somebody with a calcium phosphate deficiency. understand it, know what the signs are or the symptoms of it as well, to see what correlates. If somebody has behavioral issues and you fear that they may be capable of self harm, if you see this deficiency, it's time to work on correcting it because it in itself can push them over the edge. That's it for now. Bye bye.